Are you one of those guys trying to make your home gym into your own commercial gym? If that's the case, this might be for you. Stay tuned because we're going to check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to the gym. Coach Carp here again. This is the premium calf raise machine from HVO Fitness. They reached out to me to do an honest review, actually multiple times. One person even told me that they thought I was too strong to test out their equipment after they reached out to me to begin with. Now the thing about this one is, it is a seated calf raise machine. It also has the tibialis raise in there as well. So it's a plate loaded machine with a weight horn in the front and 2 weight horns on the side for the tibialis raise. Not the first piece of equipment I've got from them. This is the second unit. The first unit I received, the handle was really wobbly, even though it was tightened down all the way. The center pop pin was very loose. There was dings, cuts, scrapes, dents, powder coat missing in certain areas, red on the black areas and so forth. It almost looked like Ace Ventura was walking down there delivering packages because
I have a package for you.
Sounds broken.
Most likely, sir. I'll bet it was something nice, though.
Well, it was just really beat up. They ended up sending me a second one, and this one is from the original, and most of the new parts are on this one. So I did remove all the parts that had the ding, scrapes, and things, and I'll show you some of that in the clips or B-roll. But even this unit, it does have dings, scrapes, and stuff, even with the different parts, and it interchanges some of them. Most of it is cosmetic issues, except for that handle. Now, assembly was pretty easy and straightforward. It comes with these tools, these little wrenches and Allen wrenches in the kit. But I just used my 17 millimeter drill driver tip and knocked it out pretty quick in about 25, 30 minutes. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. The manual was easy to follow. And all the hardware was labeled, which is nice. It had, in the book, it tells you which hardware piece to use. And then each little bag of the washers and bolts and things, it had each one labeled. So you knew which one was which. Just make sure you're using the proper length of bolts on each, because some of them look similar, but maybe a half inch longer, and it's for like a certain piece. So just be aware of that. If it says G or E or whatever on there, make sure you're using it in the right spot. Now this machine is just a lever style calf machine, and you just lift up to clear that base, move the arm out of the way, and then you're ready to go. That's how it functions. Same thing with the tibialis raise. You probably want to move this up a couple notches, and then you get your feet in there, your heels on that base plate, and then you can just do tib raises, lifting your toes and flexing your tibs, and you just load the plates right on the weight horn. It does also have a pretty good amount of adjustment. There are 4 different levels of adjustment here with just a pop pin, and you just screw it down to tighten it back in. It won't move when it's all the way tightened down. Same thing on the leg pads. I think it has 4 on this one and 6 on this one. So you can go, it'll come all the way out. And then 1 to 6. I like it on that 3rd level, which is kind of where, like I said, on most of my videos, I'm 6'1.5", so I kind of have longer legs. So that middle section right there gives me enough space right there. And then sometimes I'll even go 1 above and put my feet in there and then lock it back down or push it down further to get that tight fit. So that's one thing you can do, easy to adjust. So you get quite a bit of movement front to back and top to bottom. Tib bars, though, are just in one fixed spot. There's no adjustment. So a lot of times when I do it, I like to do it with my shoes off to get a better range of motion and get my feet up in there better. With the regular calf raises, I just wear my training shoes or whatever. A couple things that are weird about it, though, is despite it having a rubber spacer like the front of it has here, and all the renderings and photos online, it's supposed to have rubber spacers here, but also in the instruction manual, it shows you attaching these, putting these together, or these came already assembled. They come with these 2-inch little clips, and these are just cheapo clips. They're not great at all, but they do work. I don't know how strong they are, but they do work. But you can screw these off and it will hold 1-inch plates as well. I don't know why you'd want to have extra 1-inch plates around just to do your calf raise machine, but you could. So it did also come with 1-inch collars. So if you do take the 2-inch weight horns off, there's a 1-inch weight horn underneath. You can use these to do your 1-inch plates. So you get 3 of those. You get one for each weight horn, 1, 2, 3, and then one in the center. Now, I haven't had a standalone calf raise like this in years. I did used to have one in my home gym. I had a Parabody years ago that I sold. It was pretty heavy duty, pretty high quality. I think it was like 11 gauge steel and things like that. Now, they claim this is heavy duty steel, and it shows a 2 millimeter on the Amazon link, but I measured it. It's not commercial steel, as they say. It's just 14 gauge steel. And to me, 14 gauge steel is not commercial. Commercial grade steel would be 11 gauge steel and up. They do claim a 345 kilogram weight capacity, which I'm not big math, but that goes to about 760 pounds. So I have loaded it up to about that. I got 7 or 8 plates on here, depending on which plates I was using. I'm using the Strength Co plates. And if you have any thinner plates, like weighted out, you might be able to get a couple more plates on here. But it says it'll hold 760 pounds. I think that's total overall use. You can't fit that much on any one of the weight horns. So with my body weight and another 300, 400 pounds on the front, depending on what size plates you use, it will hold that. Like I said, it's a lever style design, so it does have bearings back here on the lever. And that's pretty much how it works. The lever just goes up and down. So the further out the weights are, the heavier it's going to feel. It does have band pegs on the front, so you could get the weight higher or heavier feel by using the band pegs with bands. It does come with some very thin, tiny, what I would call like booty band type bands, not traditional powerlifting bands or other bands you may see like Rogue, Rep, Elite FTS. These are not the type of bands that come with it. It's basically the little hip circle booty bands, the really thin bands. They would probably want to throw a couple extra in there or add some more substantial bands. I probably would never use those. If I do, I would use my Rogue or other ones that I do have. But that's one way you can increase the resistance. So I've tried it with my body weight and that much weight on here. I can't do reps with like 400 pounds on the front, but I was able to at least lift it off with my calves, and I was able to do 4 or 5 plates on here, no problem. One thing that I did find was weird is in all of the renders and all of the things online, it shows them having 55-pound plates on the weight horn and 55-pound plates or 25 kg plates or 25 kg plates on the front. And you can't really do that because even with a 45 or something on here, it will fit on the weight horn, but I don't think anybody's going to be lifting that. So it's in those pictures, like there's a lot of different pictures on there that are not use case or not real world. So that's something to be aware of. Any of the clips I've seen online or in other reviews, you have folks putting like a 25-pound plate on the weight horn and probably just one plate, sometimes 2 25-pound plates. When I would do calf raises in the commercial gym plates, and by plates I mean 45-pound plates, I would have at least 2 plates, sometimes more, doing reps of 10 or 12. And you can still do that on here. It feels pretty good. The padding is okay. But what they don't tell you is really why those people are doing it with a 25-pound plate in actual videos is because when you have a 45-pound plate on here and you lift up the bar, the 45-pound plate rubs into the handle, the jack handle or the support handle, whatever you want to call it, the safety handle. The plate actually comes into this. And I'll show you B-roll and clips of it where the plate is touching it or actually moving when I'm doing it. You'll even see the scuffs of the plate into the handle. So that's something to be aware of. One way to fix that is add a additional spacer here. Like I have some Aperture Engineering spacers. You can just bring that out. Well, they could actually make this lever, this weight horn longer and put a spacer here, or they could make the whole lever arm a couple inches longer and it would give you more loadable space, and it would also keep it from running into the handle. But a cheap fix at home is just to put another small plate on there, like a smaller 10 or a 5 or something to space it out a little bit more, or like I have those Aperture Engineering sleeves that I use. And then on the weight horns and all the pictures and renders, it shows the rubber spacer here, but in both boxes, both shipping mets I've got, neither one of them had those in there. So I don't even think they include that. And it's supposed to be the same rubber piece that's on the front here, so your plates aren't rubbing metal on metal contact. So that's something they need to change or update, or throw those in everybody's boxes or send them out to people, because it's in all the pictures. They're not in the box. Even though they said I was too strong for their equipment, it was not the case on this. I'm not saying that some other people couldn't load it up higher or do more weight on it, but with the size of the weight horn, you're only going to be able to get so much weight on there. Like I said, about 350, 400 pounds is the most you're going to get there, even if you have thin plates. If you have bumper plates, you're not going to get 7 or 8 plates like I did on there and be able to fit a collar or anything on there. Bumper plates, you might get 3 or 4 max, and that's all that's going to fit on there to still be able to get a collar on there. So, it's pretty cheap. The little chrome knobs and things fall off right here. Like, it's just a little cheap plastic cap. There's plastic caps here that just fall off sometimes in use. So you saw how easy that just popped off. But this one is much better than the first one I got. The first one, the pop pins were real loose. This handle would just wobble like crazy, even though it was tightened all the way down. So that's what I told him. I said, one thing to do would be just to get rid of this handle altogether, because a lot of times I would just grab here when I'm using it. It seems like, see that thing just falling off right there? It's more natural just to grab here. It's like a TNT Hellbox handle, but it almost kind of feels like it's too high up, I've seen it several different prices, all as high as $315. I think right now they're running a prime sale, so I think it was like $250. And they do have a lesser model that doesn't have the tib raise. I think it's about $199 regular price. So if they're running a sale on that too, it's probably even less. So $250, maybe 200, maybe under 200 if you're gonna go without the tib bar raise. But I figure if you're gonna put this piece of equipment in your gym, you might as well go ahead and get the tib bar raise too, because it's underneath the equipment. It really doesn't add that much space. It just adds a few, 4 or 5 inches to each side. Normally that would just be dead space underneath. You're going to have a foot plate and there things there anyway. So, and if you don't like it, you could buy this version. If you don't like it, you don't have enough space, you could always just leave them off and still get this version and add them on whenever you wanted. So, now, like I said, this is a budget piece, but it does everything it's supposed to do. It has a couple features here or there that are kind of cool. And it's probably something that I would keep, even though it is a budget piece, if I just hadn't got my Force USA hack squat leg press combo with a calf block, so I can do standing calf raises on those. I do like a standing calf raise, even though in a commercial gym, this is how I used to finish all my leg workouts, was with, 3 or 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps on the seated calf raise. So I do like this overall. If it's something you're looking at picking up, by all means, pick it up. It's a pretty good, decent budget price. I'll leave a link in the description. So check it out if it's something that you're interested in. Please go check out one of these other playlists, like the gym equipment reviews or one of these gym tours. Thank you guys for watching, and go lift. Don't you know it's hard out here for a pimp, making this home gym content, baby? Yeah. Woo!